Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we're talking how to develop a winning attitude for business. That's right, man. We all know that when it comes down to entrepreneurship, mindset is critically important, but sometimes we don't break down what mindset means. And part of having the right mindset for business is having a winning attitude. I found this article on Mile Walk, and I'm going to share with you 14 ways to develop a winning mindset. But I need y'all to do me a favor, man. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. And let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from Thornton Online Marketing Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri, where we focus on helping small, local, service-based businesses, including coaches and consultants, keep their calendars full with organic lead generation and marketing strategies. If you need help in that area, all you got to do to get a free marketing strategy session is text local biz to 314-730-3999. Again, text local biz to 314-730-3999 for a free marketing strategy session. Today, we're talking how to develop a winning attitude for business. We know that mindset is critically important when it comes to entrepreneurship, but developing a winning mindset is something that a lot of people need help understanding how to do. So let me pop this link to this article that I found on milewalk.com, man. It's some great information, man. So we're going to get all the way into that. But I need y'all to do me a favor, man. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand, and hit that share button. If you know that you're going to get some value out of today's episode, you might as well go ahead and hit that share button now. But I always like to know who's in the room, who's hanging out. Let me know the name of your business and or your brand. And that's a marketing strategy for you. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that follow this show, follow this thread. You might connect with your next business partner. You might pick up a customer or two. So, and it helps me. I love to engage with you guys as well. A couple quick announcements before we get started. Shout out to everybody who came out to the local biz Q&A session that we did on Saturday, man. It was flat out phenomenal. We had an amazing turnout. Some amazing entrepreneurs showed up. We had a wonderful Q&A discussion about people in their different respective industries, their respective brands. If you would like to get the replay, then all you got to do is comment, I want the replay, and I'll send you the link to grab that replay, man. But it was an amazing time, man. We really had some fun. And I try to do that once or twice a month at least, for those of you who are serious about growing your business and you need some help with your marketing strategies. One of the gifts that God gave me, guys, is creative genius. I have the ability in this tech space, in this social media space, in this content creation, this online marketing space, to see a business and come up with all kinds of ideas that you could use for free to market and promote your business. So that's what we went through on Friday. My man Mark Presswood was on. A couple of you guys who will listen to the show regularly jumped on. So I appreciate you guys so much. Another big announcement, a huge announcement, guys. If you are watching the Cortez Hustle Show live and you're on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, I want you guys to know that the Cortez Hustle Show is now moving to its own dedicated page on Facebook. That is the only place outside of YouTube that you're going to be able to see the live stream, right? So I put the link in the show notes in the comment. So I need you to go over to facebook.com/The Cortez Hustle Show. Hit the like button, hit the follow button, turn on your notifications so that when we push the shows out, you'll get notified of what's going on every week. So this is the last week that you're going to see the Cortez Hustle Show on any other streaming platform live outside of the Facebook page for the Cortez Hustle Show and the YouTube channel. So make sure you hit that and follow the show there. And quick question, what should we teach at our next free workshop, right? What are you struggling with the most in your business when it comes to marketing? Let us know in the comments. I take all of your suggestions seriously, and we either put together a Saturday workshop or we do some of the workshops inside of our free mastermind group, which is the Black Biz Success Mastermind. I can check that out right here on Facebook. Also, this Thursday coming up, you guys need help with business credit? We've got a business credit expert coming on. Janita Jackson is going to be sharing how you can start the process of building your business credit. So yeah, make sure you want to keep it locked right here. We start every episode of the Cortez Hustle Show with a quote of the day. And today's quote says this: "We are all created in God's image. The problem is we create God in our image." It's from the great legendary Bob Proctor, right? We are all created in God's image, meaning we have creative genius, right? We are created with an unlimited imagination. But the problem is we then take this omnipotent, omnipresent, this genius, this huge God, and we create it in our image and put it into this small box. And we limit ourselves when we do that. I want you to think about that, man. Especially those of you who believe, like I believe, I am a Christian entrepreneur, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And we in the Christian faith talk a lot about the ability to do all things, right? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me," right? But we often find ourselves giving up on things like our business. We find ourselves giving up on things like personal growth and self-development. But wait a minute, we just said we could do all things, right? Because we typically limit God's ability to do amazing things in our lives because we're putting God in this small box. We put God in a box that we can only ask for things we need, right? And that ain't the God we serve, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you to take God out of the box that you put him in and realize that he's more than just that. And then I want you to also realize that you are more because you're created in the image of God. You are more than what you are playing to be today, right? You are more than a mom. You're more than a husband. You're more than a father. You're more than an employee down at the plant. You're more than a friend. You're more than a sister. You're more than a brother. You're more than an entrepreneur. You're more than a business owner. You are more. And I want you to get out of the box that you put yourself in. I want you to get out of that limiting beliefs that you've adopted. Usually, like I put a post out over the weekend that says most people will give up on their dreams for the approval of people who don't even have any. I'm trying to think about that. Are you giving up on your dreams because you're fighting for the approval of people who don't even have dreams themselves? That's where we are. That's why we're putting ourselves in these boxes. That's why we're listening to people who don't have anything going on in their lives. So hopefully that made sense to you today. Hopefully that got you thinking today, because that's what the quote of the day is all about. And today's quote is brought to you by our good friends over at Thornton Online Marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, we help small local service-based businesses keep their calendars full without paid advertisement. Now, there's nothing wrong with paid ads, but when you don't have an advertising budget, you need to figure out some things that you could do to increase revenue so that you can start investing in ads. I got a free trial of our acceleration business system, and I want you to text local biz to 314-730-3999. Let's get you on a free strategy session with one of our lead generation specialists. Let's see if we can help you with organic content creation, lead generation, put the systems in place so that you can start raising or creating the revenue that you need to scale your business with paid advertising. So we're talking how to develop a winning attitude for business. How many of you guys are already in business right now? If you are in business right now, I want you to put a 1 in the comments. You already have a business and that business is launched and you're doing business, you're making money, right? If you're in business, I want you to put a 1 in the comment. If you aspire to be in business, you haven't quite launched it, you got to thinking about your ideas, what you want to do, I want you to put a 2 in the comment. If you're thinking about going into business and you just haven't pulled the trigger yet, I want you to put a 2 in the comments. So these 14 steps to developing a winning attitude from milewalk.com. Attitude, it's a common word. I love its mystique. It should be an all the time thing, but people who think they have a good one often slips at the first hint of trouble. The others who maintain a good one with regularity are likely getting help from attitudes, brethren of the faith variety. All will always turn out well. So we talk about the need for a positive, winning, championship attitude, championship mentality when it comes to business, but very few people are talking about how to actually cultivate it, how to develop it, how to bring it into the forefront, how to make it important enough into your life that you work on it on a regular and consistent basis. Attitude is also similar in nature to self-esteem. Someone can't give it to you. You have to build it on your own. It's lonely and self-taught. I want y'all to get that. I can't give you attitude today, right? You have to build it on your own. It's self-taught. You have to actually work at it, right? And I know we see certain people who are just bubbly all the time, certain people who are just on fire all the time, certain people who just love life, and we assume that they were born that way. No, man. No. Someone somewhere told them about the power of seeing life through a certain lens. And when they started doing it, they start reaping the benefits and they start working on it and they just kind of mastered or perfected it, right? So, number 1, and I hate that they don't have these numbers, so because I always mess up on my numbers. But first, right, how you think and what you think about helps to shape your winning attitude. So first on the list, focus on your passions. Give yourself a leg up by focusing on the things you love. It's much easier to develop a great attitude when you're doing something you love. Not sure what you're passionate about? Check out how to determine your purpose in life in fewer than 600 words. So the reason I always give you guys the links to these articles, because they also link to a lot of other great resources, right? So focus on your passion. It's critical. If you want to have a winning attitude, right? I get up every morning and I come out here and I do this show for you guys every morning because I'm so fired up about my mission and my passion and the purpose that I was created on this earth, right? There's a reason I was born in 1974 and not 1874, not 1774. There was a reason, because I was supposed to be here during this explosive time of this internet age, this information age, this partnership age, this age where any and everybody can impact the entire world, right? Let's see, roughly 35 people are watching live. I don't know where y'all are in the world, but if I say something that transforms your life, chances are it's going to transform the lives of the people around you, right? Never in history has there been an opportunity for the average everyday individual who's got a heart for people to transform and impact the world in the way that we can do that today. And focusing on your passion, putting it out there to the world, using tools like social media, things of that nature, that gives you a reason to have a winning attitude. It gives you a reason to get up in the morning and to press towards the mark. I don't know about y'all, but when I started to just stay within my passions, right? I believe that the reason you're passionate about whatever it is you're passionate about, that is your passion is like a homing beaker, right? So that homing beaker is guiding you somewhere. And where it's guiding you to, it's guiding you to your purpose, right? And I believe that when you find your purpose and you walk fully erect in that purpose, you will also find your provisions, right? They often say that the person who is doing what they love to do never works a day in their lives. Everything just comes to them based on walking in the gifts, the talents, the using their experiences and their expertise into becoming more and more of the person that you are on the inside. And everything that you need gets added unto you based on you walking in your passion. So first, if you want to develop a winning attitude, start paying attention to your passions and the things that you absolutely love to do. And don't be afraid to immerse yourself in those things. I know sometimes the things that we are passionate about in our society, if they don't make you money, people say you waste time doing those things. But y'all know that there are people right now today who make 6 and 7 figures because they are passionate about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for instance, right? I don't know if y'all understand the world that we are living in today. Like your passion for something like a childhood memory could create you businesses, products and services that make you tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you understand the time and the age that we're living in. So number one, focus on your passion. Number two, think positively, right? This might be easier for me to type than for you to do. Start small, repeat. Think back on your life. Have you, for the most part, been successful? If so, why would you allow the thought of some fictitious, improbable future to prevent you from thinking positively at this moment? Steve Harvey has a great line in his motivational speeches where he often asks the crowd to think back on one of their toughest days. Think back on some of the moments where they did not think that they were going to make it through. And everybody raised their hand. Have you ever had a day like that? And everybody says yes. And then he hits them with this fact. Your success rate for overcoming obstacles in your life is 100%. Your track record for getting through days like that is 100%. Even if you are in a day like that today, if you look back over your life, you were in similar moments where you thought there's no way in hell I'm going to get through this. And yet you are here today. So what does that mean? that means you have a 100% track record of winning negative days. So why would you think negatively? Why wouldn't you think positively? Why wouldn't you look back on those Red Sea moments of your life, right? I call them the Red Sea moments, right? It wasn't long that the children of Israel, when they walked through the Red Sea, they got on their way to the promised land. It didn't take them long to forget all of the miracles that they had just seen as they were fleeing Egypt. Sometimes we forget, and therefore we get into this negative thought pattern, this negative thought process, because we forget, man, we just overcame something yesterday. We just overcame something last week. We just overcame something 6 months ago. We made it through something last year. We made it through some things 5 years ago. We didn't even expect to be alive today, and yet we are here. It's not easy. These things take practice. These things take intention, right? You got to be intentional about when a thought comes into your head, I am going to see the positive outcome. I am going to see the positive potential. I'm going to see the seed for greatness in every adversity, right? I'm going to see that seed for equal opportunity in every adversity. That's a choice, and it becomes a habit, and it ultimately becomes a way of life when you start being conscious of it, right? I'm not saying that you live in the clouds, but what I'm saying is some of the things that we allow to take root in our minds are based on imaginary fears. Things that never even happened. But because we think they might happen, we're letting them stop us from doing certain things today. And I'm guilty of it myself, right? I tell y'all all the time, man, I'm talking to myself. I'm just talking out loud, and I'm recording it so that my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren can hear their pawpaw's voice in the future, right? That's the key. It takes practice. It takes a willingness to say, man, I'm going to get this negative thought out of my head. Speaking of negative thoughts, it is now time for 1 minute motivation. If you're new to the Cortez Hustle Show, every day we do a segment called 1 minute motivation. This is where we play a short motivational video, usually 60 to 90 seconds or so. And if you're able to type, I always ask that you comment a takeaway or two. And I'm going to give you a couple of my takeaways. So let's get into 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
The scripture says we will eat the fruit of our words. You are planting seeds when you talk. At some point, you're going to eat that fruit. My challenge is make sure you're planting the right kind of seeds. If you want apples, you have to sow apple seeds. If you want oranges, you can't plant cactus seeds, poison ivy seeds, mushroom seeds. You're going to reap fruit from the exact seeds that you've been sowing. In other words, you can't talk negative and expect to live a positive life. You can't talk defeat and expect to have victory. You can't talk lack, not enough, can't afford it, never get ahead, and expect to have abundance. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. If you don't like what you're seeing, start sowing some different seeds. We may not realize it, but we're always feeding ourselves. What we watch, listen to, the people we're around, the thoughts we're dwelling on, that's feeding our inner man. If you go to lunch with people that talk bad about the boss, make fun of a coworker, put down a friend, they're feeding you gossip, feeding you jealousy, feeding you disrespect. Here's the key. Whatever you feed is going to grow. You may not like what they're feeding you. You're a nice person. But if you continue to hang around them, before long, you'll be gossiping. You'll be critical. You'll be disrespectful. Why? Because you kept feeding the wrong thing.
Who, what, or feeding today? Are you feeding your faith and starving your doubt? Or are you feeding your doubt and starving your faith? See, the words that you're speaking every day, they have power, right? They have power. Are you feeding your faith and starving your doubt? Or are you feeding your doubt and starving your faith? Most people literally have a problem for every solution. And I'm going to tell you one of the most difficult things about transforming your environment so that you can develop this winning attitude, right? Here's one of the most difficult things that you have to do. You have to change the people you associate with, right? And here's why that's so difficult. Some of the people that are in your life right now, the reason they're in your life is because they saw you through some of those dark moments. They helped you escape that abusive relationship. They helped you get over that bad breakup. When you lost it all, you were able to go sleep on their couch. But now that you are putting it all together and you're going from glory to glory, you're trying to elevate your life, those people are comfortable where they are. And there's a natural conflict happening. You're trying to be positive. Every time you come around them, they're negative. You're trying to share your dreams, and all they do is poop on them. You got to get away from those people. But it's hard because we all have a guilt complex. Man, if it wasn't for this person, I wouldn't be here today. So I can't leave them behind. Oh, yes, you can. In fact, you have to. Because if you don't, y'all both gonna die. Figuratively speaking, right? They're gonna bring you back down to the life you're trying to escape, and y'all both gonna be miserable. But what happens if you develop the strength to leave and you continue to grow on this upward trajectory to become the best version of yourself? You at least have the ability to shine as an inspiration. You at least have a place of elevation that you can invite them to when they decide that they want more for themselves. But I get it. It's not easy. But here's what you do. You just continue to put yourself in different situations. You continue to bring up the work that you're doing on yourself. It's not difficult, the actual steps to change that environment. The difficult part is making up your mind that you absolutely have to do it. But once you have to do it, you start inviting them to the conferences that you're going to work on this. You start inviting them to the other parts of town that you're hanging out with so you can meet different, hanging out in so that you can meet different people. You start recommending that they read some of the books that you read. I guarantee you, they're going to start calling you. When every time they call you and ask you to go out, you're like, no, I can't go out tonight because I got this thing in the morning where I'm working on my business. You want to go? No, I can't go out tonight because I'm actually going to be up early in the morning because I'm driving over to Chicago. There's this cool networking event that I want to go to, and I'm going to get up and hit the road early, right? You just start saying, hey, this is who I am becoming, and I promise you, they'll stop calling me. Nah, I don't call Tez, man. He probably doing some old business stuff. I don't worry about, reaching out to Cortez, man. He probably doing some podcast stuff. Nah, he can't go on a road trip with us this weekend. He's got some free workshop that he's doing. Like, just keep doing you and keep inviting them on your journey. And as they see that you're serious about your journey, eventually they'll stop inviting you. And that's how you start transforming and changing that community without being disrespectful, without cutting people off. Like, hey, this is where I'm going, bro. You're welcome to come with me. And if you're not, That's cool, but this is where I'm going. And hopefully, we can walk this path together. But if we can't, I get it. But you got to do that for you. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you again by our good friends over at Thornton Online Marketing. If you are in the service-based industry and you have trouble keeping your calendar full, I want you to test out the Acceleration Business System, where we actually will book qualified sales opportunities for you on your calendar from a variety of sources within the next 7 to 10 days. We're going to put some money in your pocket and prove that we can earn your business. And once we make you some money, you're going to want to stick with us. So text local biz to 314-730-3999. Again, text local biz to 314-730-3999 to talk with one of our lead generation specialists and see how we can help you grow your business. We're talking 14 steps to developing a positive or a winning attitude for business, right? Entrepreneurs, you got to focus on your passion. What's the first thing? The next thing is think positively, right? Now, when I say think positively, I do want you with your head in the clouds. I do want you seeing your business growing. I do want you seeing it successful, but you got to use the 80-20 rule. 80% of my time, I'm talking about my affirmations, where I'm going to be every day. 100 leads come into my funnel and I'm closing 25% of them, right? I'm talking about that 80% of the time. I'm focusing on where I am and where I'm going and the success that we're going to have. And I'm seeing my business win. 20% of the time is where I got to kick myself in the butt and say, you got some leads this weekend. Did you follow up? Oh, you've got 10 content ideas for videos. Did you get in the studio and record those videos? Right? So you can't live in the sky and then not come back and do the actual work. I can't just keep saying that 100 leads are jumping into my funnel every day and I'm closing 25% of them, and not tell people about my funnel. I can't just keep saying 100 leads are coming into my funnel and I'm doing no marketing to my funnel. I'm not trying to get any traffic to the funnel. No, 80% of the time, I got to talk about the wins that I anticipate. 20% of the time, I got to get real with myself and be like, yo, bro, you came up short yesterday. You had 10 things that you said you was going to do on your list. You did 2. You allowed yourself to get distracted. You let procrastination set in. You lost focus. Here's what most people do. They do the 20-80 rule. 20% of the time, they are visualizing their success, and 80% of the time, they're beating themselves up about not achieving it. I don't need that, man. I got enough people who are sending negative energy my way. I can't be spending 80% of my time sending negative energy towards myself, right? Can't do that. Can't do that. So next on the list, slow down the speed of your emotions. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, take a deep breath. You need to practice becoming mindful of your racing thoughts, because your automatic thinking and behaviors have unfortunately become just that, automatic. You cannot allow, it's like when you pull a one thread out of a sweater, like they show in the cartoons, they pull one thread and then basically the whole sweater comes unraveled. That's what happens with one negative thought. If you don't understand how to combat it, how to get it out of your head and replace it with a positive thought, it can just spiral down, right? It would just spiral. Scripture tells me that blessed is the man that walks not in the way, nor stands, nor sits. I want you to understand the evolution. He says, I can't walk in the way of people who don't have the same thoughts and aspirations, right? Scripture talks about ungodly, right? But if we take it out of scripture for a minute, blessed is the man who walks not in the way of the person who is not on the same path as you, right? I'm not walking with you. But then there's an evolution, there's a progression, right? Nor stand in the way. So I'm not walking with you, but if I walk with you, eventually I'm gonna start standing with you. I'm gonna start sitting with you. I'm gonna start hanging with you. And then it says, not walk, not stand, nor sit. So now I'm just chilling. I'm just kicked back. This has become my permanent environment. That's how your thought process goes. That's how your thought process goes. It starts as a little bit of thought, right? And then that thought, if you think on it long enough, becomes a belief. And if it becomes a belief, it's going to eventually become words that come out of your mouth. If it becomes words that come out of your mouth, it's going to become actions. If it becomes actions, then it becomes habits. If it becomes habits, it becomes your character, and your character is what dictates your destiny. So I can't walk with people who are not walking in the same way, because if I walk with you, eventually I'm going to stand with you. That means I'm going to come in agreement with you. And if I come in agreement with you, eventually I'm going to sit with you and make your beliefs a permanent part of my being. And I'm going somewhere with this marketing company. I'm going somewhere with this media company. So I can't walk with, stand, or sit with people who are not trying to help or support me along this journey. Point blank, period. So you got to catch yourself when you're having those negative moments, right? Next, set goals high and monitor progress instead of specific results. Being realistic never changed anything. Being unrealistic does. Set goals for yourself that are higher than you can imagine. This might sound contrary to breeding positivity, and it will be if all you focus on are the outcomes of your attempts. What does he say focus on? Focus on progress. Did you grow just a little bit today? Are you a little bit better today than you were yesterday? You might look at your goal, and here's what I challenge you guys to do. You might look at your goal and see how far you are from it. And that sometimes can get discouraging. What you need to learn how to do is look behind you and see how far you have come from where you started. Right? You guys ever want to see something funny? Go look up Thornton Online Marketing on YouTube. This journey for me started in about 2010, 2011. There are videos of me and my family when I first started trying to come online and get educated and figure out how I can reach the world with my messages. I'm trying to figure things out. I didn't know my purpose then was to build a media conglomerate that's going to be instrumental in helping Black people become the #1 employers of. I didn't know that was my purpose. I just knew that I somehow fell in love with this thing called the internet, personal branding, marketing, online, and I just stayed with the thing that I was passionate about, and I stayed with it long enough to figure out how to make money from the thing that I was passionate about. And as I started to make money from that thing, I started to get more and more involved in the thing. And now that I become more and more involved in the thing because I was making money from the thing that I was passionate about, it has now, 10 years later, led me to my purpose. Problem with us is we get passionate about a thing, but we don't figure out how to make money from the thing that we're passionate about. And as a result, we walk away from that passion. And if my theory is correct, your passion is a homing beaker to lead you to your purpose. If you walk away from that passion, you never find your purpose. And I believe that's the problem with the world. Not enough of us are walking in our purpose. So set high goals, but pay attention to the progress, not so much the end result. Remember, success is something you attract by becoming attractive. It's about the journey. It's about the process, right? I started some things online 10, 11, 12 years ago, and I thought I was going to blow up doing some other things, but no, that was just part of the process to get me to my purpose. Next, make sure you can commit. Make sure you can commit. Setting high goals is ridiculous if you can't commit to working towards and achieving them. How do you commit? You decide. All commitment starts with a decision. Are you going to build a multinational, multi-billion-dollar media conglomerate or not? The answer is emphatically yes. Now that you've answered that, you have no choice but to do some of these other things along the way. I hope y'all caught that. See, a lot of us are still wishing, and a lot of us are still talking about how cool it would be if, but we haven't decided. No, I've decided that the marketing company is going to build an engine that's going to launch the media company, and the media company is going to bring entrepreneurship to the forefront in a way that it has never been before. And it's going to lead to a revolution in building profitable, sustainable, fundable businesses in and throughout the Black community. And Black people will become the number one employers of Black people in the next 2 generations. I've already decided that I'm going to commit to that. Now, based on that decision, every other choice is already made for me. Because I made a decision. Don't ever give up being true to yourself. It's important. Let's get something straight. Winners quit. They quit the right things at the right times. They also choose the right things to start and focus only on those things. Right? I had a decision that I had to make over the weekend. Do I take certain things off my plate so that it makes it easier for me to focus on the mission? Because I've decided, because I've committed, because I now understand the purpose, I have a plan. When people ask me to do things that don't align with that plan, the answer is no, and I don't have to give them an explanation either. Make no excuses. Next, we're talking about how to develop a winning attitude. These are steps that you implement every day. So if every day I make no excuses, I'm going to start racking up wins. And as I start racking up small wins, my attitude towards the next thing that needs to be done on the list is up here. You are a victim of your own vibration. You are accountable for everything you do and everything that happens to you. Accept it, own it. If you ignore the other 13 items in this post, this is one alone will carry you to the right place. Make no excuses, y'all. Make no excuses. Every day, at the end of the day, Cortez, did you slay today? It's my question to myself. Did you slay today? Because every day I got to go out and slay. It's going to get me closer to my goal. Surround yourself with the right people. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Who are you spending the most time with? Who are you spending the most time with? And what do they have in their lives that you want in your life? I hope y'all get this question. Who do you spend the most time with? What do they have in their life that you want in your life? If we ask that question, when we go around the people that we hang around the most, we start looking at, wait a minute, I hang around this person every day. What does this person have in his or her life that I want in my life? If you can't answer positively with something that they have in their life that you want, why are you hanging with them? This thing called life is about growth, man. There's only two states of being. You're either growing or you're dying. You're either growing or you're dying. And the people that you constantly put yourself around affects your state. Some people you're going to go around and their vibration, their energy is going to quicken you. It's going to wake up something inside of you and you're going to feel on fire. Other people you go around, they're going to drain the hell out of you. And who do you spend the most time with? The people that are going to drain the hell out of you. And you wonder why you're so tired when you're trying to accomplish your dreams or goals. You're wondering why you don't have the stamina you need to go out here and win. Because you're around people who drain you every day. So surround yourself with the right people. Avoid the wrong people. I call this addition by subtraction. It's different than surrounding yourself with the right people and a little more painful. Avoid the wrong people. Like, you know what's going to happen if you go to that party. You already know who's going to be there. You already know what they're going to be talking about. You already know what they're going to be serving to eat and to drink. You already know about when the drama is going to pop off. You already know all of that stuff, and you go anyway. But you have another opportunity to go to another event where you don't know who's going to be there. You don't know what they're serving. You don't know what the conversation is going to be like. But because that's uncomfortable, you rather go where you're comfortable, right? We're talking 14 steps to a winning attitude. Be grateful. So next, it's impossible to have a bad attitude when you have gratitude. Be grateful for everything you have because there are people who will never have what you have today. Here's what you do. Stop saying what you got to do or you have to do, and start seeing the reality that you don't have to do anything, but you get to do everything. That's a bar right there. Some of y'all missed that. You don't have to do anything, but you get to do everything, right? Share this story quite frequently. My mom lives about 30 minutes away, and she changes purses all the time because she's a fly diva, right? And when she changes purses, sometimes she leaves her house key in the purse that she changed from, so she locks herself out, right? And I used to say, I gotta go let my mom in. She locked herself out again. I don't got to, I get to. Think about all of the micro blessings that have happened in my life that allows me to be in position to get to go let my mom in. First of all, she's still alive. I'm still alive. There's a lot of people, mom ain't with us today. I got the financial means to have a vehicle. I've got the physical means, the acuity, and all of the things that's required to drive a car, right? Gas to put in the car, and gas is $4, $5 a gallon, right? Gratitude. Just change that little thing right there, and you'll start seeing all of the things you have to be grateful for. I don't have to do anything. I get to do everything. Why? Because I'm blessed. I don't care what it is. If you're eating ramen noodles for dinner every night, that's something to be grateful for. Why? Because you got ramen noodles to eat. Apparently, you got something to cook them on. You got your mental faculties to be able to prepare them. Are y'all with me? Believe. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Whether you think you will or won't, you're right. I've never met a person I didn't believe in, and I know more people than anyone I know. If I believe in you, you should too. Belief in the cycle of success, y'all. It all starts with how you believe. Because your thoughts stem from that belief. And what you believe about you is critically important. What you believe other people believe about you doesn't matter, but we think it does. So that's important. You got to change that narrative. You got to change that perspective. If I ask all of y'all today, I'm going to give you a task, and I'm going to give you 10 chances to do this thing. You're going to do it wrong 7 times. You're going to do it right 3 times. If I ask all of y'all individually, most people say, if I only did it right 3 times out of 10, Cortez, I must be a failure. But you got to understand how to properly evaluate results and put them in proper context. What's the context? Well, the thing that I'm telling you to do is hit a major league fastball. 7 times you strike out, or you pop out, or you fly out, or you ground out. 3 times you get on base. When you understand how to properly evaluate results, you'll realize that 300 batting average in Major League Baseball makes you a multi-millionaire. You get to go to the All-Star game, and if you do it for 10 plus years, you're probably going to the Hall of Fame too. But what most of us do is we compare our blooper reels to other people's highlight reels. So when you ground out, you compare that to somebody else smashing a bomb over the wall. And you don't think about, wait a minute, I made contact that time. That's progress. But we don't understand how to evaluate results. Therefore, our belief gets all messed up. We start believing what we can't do versus believing what we can do. Have faith, right? Pair faith with belief, sprinkle in some consistent action, man, you're on your way. Prepare for the best, worst, and everything in between. You'll sleep better at night knowing you have all contingencies covered. Right? We're talking about the winning attitude required for business, right? I want to win. I'm putting all my effort into winning, but here is something that could block me from winning along this road. So let me have a contingency plan because I can't stop. So when this shows up, I'm already prepared to keep going at that point. Talking about things that help you develop a winning attitude, right? Learn. Your life will never get easier, but I assure you, you will get wiser. You might as well enjoy the getting wiser part. Become a student of life. Become a student of your industry. Become a student of people. I don't care what business you're in, every business is a relationship business. Every business is a relationship business. So if you don't know what to study when it comes to business, study people. Study your industry. Study the people at the top of your industry, the people who are doing it well, the people who are doing it right. Study them. Study the people who are doing it wrong. Why are they doing it wrong? What mistakes could you avoid when you make the same efforts? So, ladies and gentlemen, I said all that to say this. Developing a winning attitude takes practice. And one of the best things that you could do when you're practicing anything is to get around other people who are also practicing that thing. But when you get around those people, you have to give them permission to hold you accountable. When you get around those people who are also practicing the same thing, hey, if you ever catch me throwing a pity party, I need you to help snap me out of it. Can you do that for me? If you ever see me wearing frustration on my face for more than 30 seconds, can you help me snap out of it? Can you do that for me? You got to give people permission to hold you accountable. Right? So appreciate you guys all for tuning in. As always, man, thank you so much. If you are a small local business and you're looking for ways to grow your business, increase your online presence, don't forget, you can get a free strategy session by texting local biz to 314-730-3999. I have a killer lead generation strategy that I'm dying to try out. So you can try it out for free, and it will literally book you appointments on your calendar for qualified sales opportunities for you and your team to make some extra money in the next 7 to 10 days. So get at your boy. Text local biz to 314-730-3999. And let me help you take your business to the next level. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. Oh, I guess I got my outro somewhere. So hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.